Geeklife.
Show me your moves.
Slurp loudly. Slurp. Good evening, citizens of Townville, and welcome to episode 48 of Geeklife Live, your source for all the nerd news you need to know. I am your host, the Dodd, the streamer this podcast needs, but not the one it deserves. And joining me today is a man whose headband says Supreme, but his beard screams Bubbles Bounce! Jake, aka Gonzo Gone Live. How are you doing today, Jake?
I'm doing great, Dodd. I found some peppermints earlier, and so now I'm flush with cash.
There you go. There you go.
These are very dated references.
It's very dated. And back again this week, KJ Fox dropping the KJ Facts. It's Kev, aka Totally Awesome. Great to have you back on the show. How have you been, man?
Been fantastic, man. Just, enjoying the whatever month, year this is. And
we're in December.
Yeah.
We're in December. You can tell by the Christmas sweaters and the decorations around your house that it's around Christmas time, and so December is close.
Someone just told me I should put things up that happen to be, but I'm not sure. It was 70 degrees,
you never know. That's just global warming. That's just the
right. I know I exist, maybe. Anyways,
do we?
Who knows?
In a way,
yeah. Hey, you guys see the Matrix commercial, right? No,
right?
Exactly.
We don't know. Exactly. It's good to see you guys. How have you guys been surviving the post? Are we going to another apocalypse version? Is that what Omicron is? Are we going to a post reapocalypse? Is that where we're going now?
In the apocalypse. I think the apocalypse. This is post-apocalypse. I think
post-apocalypse
technically
I like adding the unnecessary terms to the apocalypse. I like to think that the apocalypse happened in 2020, and then now we're in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
but
it all ended. It was actually 2000.
The rest of this has just been a simulation. That's what it is.
It's been a slow burn. Gotcha.
Slow burn. How have you guys been surviving lately? What have you guys been binging? What's on the content? What's on the menu this week, guys?
Well, Hawkeye has been a big one for me, obviously, and we're going to be talking about that one a little later in the show. Oh, yeah. But definitely been having to watch some Hawkeye. I've been playing the absolute just shit out of Far Cry 6. I got it for my birthday, and I know a lot of people have been burnt out on the Far Cry, franchise, and it's gone downhill in certain years. Some people are saying that it's gone downhill. They're saying that, but to me, 6 has been really good. Really good, a lot of fun. And I've got Guardians up next, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the other game I got for my birthday, and I'm stoked for that. I've got to start playing it, and then I'm gonna get into Halo. I'm gonna get into Halo one day. I played a little bit of Infinite. I know you've been playing it on Free Game Friday, but really excited for that story mission to drop soon as well.
Oh yeah.
And so,
starting off this stream here with a hype train. Forgot to mention that in there. Looks like we got to level 2 or possibly level 3. I don't know. That's a great way to start off the stream there, guys. The Christmas stream just keeps on giving and giving this time with a hype train. We really appreciate that, y'all. For me, I've been. I don't know if you guys caught my stream lately, but I've been doing a Brilliant Diamond run, and I was doing a mono steel run. So I only used steel types. I had just a couple of rules. I couldn't use healing items in battle. I ended up not using any even like battle items at all in battle, which was a lot of fun, a big challenge, and it was a good challenge. It was a lot of fun. I do have a lot of problems with BDSP, but overall it was a fun stream, and I definitely recommend checking out the Cynthia battle on highlight on my stream. That last battle, anime worthy. I relived my childhood in a Pokemon battle, Jake, and it was that one right there.
It's I think I'm getting one of these for Christmas. I don't know which one either, because it's Diamond and Pearl, right?
Jake, this is going to be the Pokemon game you hate. This is the epitome. The problems with this game are the epitome of Jake's problems with Pokemon as a franchise. I'm telling you this right now.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting one just because my mother-in-law knows I love Pokemon games, and she was
telling you, Jake, this is going to validate everything that you've been talking about, because I was like, I was going through this game and I was like, God damn it. Because I was just thinking in my head, like, Jake's going to be like, what?
I didn't purposely put the most up-to-date version of Legends in the Discord, followed by the Unreal 5 engine. I didn't do that on purpose or anything. They just happened to be posted right behind each other.
Just a complete coincidence.
Yep. What about you, Kev? How have you been surviving the post-apocalypse?
Yeah, man, just staying away from people. No, I'm just kidding. I see people. Just like, Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been playing that a lot, playing some Halo, was playing some Back 4 Blood last night with the boys, just staying sane and otherwise insane world.
Yeah.
What it takes.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that is what it takes. That's just what you got to do to get by on the in the post-apocalypse. Post-reapocalypse. You're right. But I also found a couple of new free games. Kev, you said you were playing some last night, but there's one that I do want to shout out before we get any further. I'm going to be playing this one next on Free Game Friday. Century Age of Ashes. This game is completely free on Steam. Okay, Age of Ashes, but nice. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It is.
Here, you lost.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
You had my
that makes sense.
But I'm gonna give it to you now out of respect.
It is.
I was like, a new waifu game. Cool.
It is.
Man, your Steam library is getting interesting, Dad.
Oh yeah, it's getting real interesting. This one is dogfighting on the backs of dragons, and it's got like Shadow of Earth, Middle of Mordor style graphics and quality graphics, completely free.
Yeah, Chad's popping off about it, so it must be.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely worth your time. So go check that out. I'm definitely gonna be playing it this Friday for Free Game Friday. Especially now that I've gotten past my Steel Team 6 streams. That was my name of my mono Steel Team, by the way. Steel Team 6. I know, I'm clever.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you're
Stop
new,
the steal.
Do it.
Stop the steal.
Stop. Oh no. Not like that. Well, we don't want them to stop the steal. We want the steal to keep going. If you're new to the show, we are a 2-hour-ish mashup of all the pop culture news you know and love. We talk about your favorite shows, movies, video games, and canceled Space Cowboys. If you like what you see here on the show tonight, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all of our social medias. There's a LinkTree in our bio. And for even more content, follow us on any of our personal socials. You can find me at Roosebane on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me at Gonzo Gone Live on both the Twitch and the Twitterverses.
And Kev, what about you?
You can find me at Totally Awesome on the Twitch and TikTok verses.
Perfect. We've got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Jake, why don't you hit us with that rundown?
We didn't start the rundown. It was always downing since the world's been running. And first up, we've got all the nerdy news you need to know, from Matrix demos that seem unreal to a blizzard of unions coming for the gaming industry. Then we're huddling around the water cooler for this week's mod, where we're going to talk about Hawkeye. And finally, we're going to dive deep into this week's deep dive on 2021. We're doing our own Spotify wrap here. And then we're actually going to wrap up the year with our top our top 12 non-Christmas Christmas movies. So now that we've downed that run, Kev, give the people those headlines. But first, Dandy, a doodle in this trying time? And that's when you run the headlines.
Tonight at 11.
In other news,
It's spiked. Go on. Thank you guys. First up, Netflix cancels Cowboy Bebop. Sorry, Space Cowboy, but it looks like we won't be seeing you anytime soon, as the live-action journey of the Bebop has come to close. Netflix announced earlier that Cowboy Bebop was canceled following the arrival of its first season, which ended on a cliffhanger, damn that sucks, involving the crew breaking up and Ed being introduced to the series in its final moments. With Netflix set to bring the likes of One Piece, Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Yu Yu Hakusho to life, this cancellation might put their fates in question. Yeah, especially if they're live action guys. It never works. Anyways. Marvel teases Captain Carter series. Peggy Carter's Captain America inspired Captain Carter from Marvel's What If animated series may be headlining a new series next spring. Marvel Comics released a piece of artwork featuring the red, white, and blue Union Jack shield Captain Carter used in the first Marvel Studios animated series for Disney+. The only other information provided is the long line reporting for duty this March. Stay tuned tomorrow for more information. We'll have to wait to see, but all signs are pointing towards the return of Captain Carter to the MCU. And guys, guess what? The Matrix Awakens imagines the future of storytelling in Unreal Engine 5. A new interactive experience set in the world of The Matrix went live earlier this week, giving players an immersive real-time look at Epic Games' Unreal Engine 5 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. While the playable demo, The Matrix Awakens, has no explicit connections to The Matrix Resurrections, the fourth movie in the franchise, Epic pitches its experience as the future of storytelling. The demo opens with a scene from The Matrix with Thomas Anderson, played by Keanu Reeves, asleep at his computer desk, created in real time with Unreal Engine 5. The model of the young Reeves was based on the original CG model the actor used during the making of The Matrix Reloaded, now rendered in Unreal 5 with increased visual detail and fidelity. A cool flex and marketing move to say the least. Next, Charlie Cox returning as Daredevil in the MCU confirms Kevin Feige. The Marvel Cinematic Universe may not officially have introduced its Daredevil on screen yet, but when it does, fans will be greeted by a familiar face. Marvel President Kevin Feige confirmed in an interview with Cinema Blend that Charlie Cox will return to reprise the role of the role he first played on Netflix when the time comes. Of course, when that will happen is still unclear, as Feige told the outlet, "If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, we would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that remains to be seen." And finally, Activision Blizzard Workers Group announces strike fund begins unionization effort. A group of Activision Blizzard workers officially announced a strike fund Thursday morning, following 2 days of walkouts in support of quality assurance employees in a press conference detailing the company's alleged alcohol-soaked culture of harassment. Jesus. The group, called ABK Workers Alliance, came together in July after California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit preceded by a 2-year investigation into the company's alleged frat boy culture. Activision Blizzard workers are not officially unionized, which means that the strike initiated Thursday will not have union protections. The group is being assisted by the Communication Workers of America, the Washington Post reported. Employees began signing union cards Thursday in an effort to get the group recognized, according to the report. It's unclear how many workers are participating in the strike, which has been ongoing since Monday. More than 1,700 contractor workers and employees signed a petition in November demanding the CEO, Bobby Kotick, resign. Management told workers they'll no longer be paid for walking out, according to the Washington Post, hence the fund. Guys, what do you think this means for the future of unions in the gaming industry?
I think this is like the first big step in them. We'll probably start seeing more. If not, we're starting to see a lot of unions pick up. I mean, Starbucks just had its first store unionize. You've had Activision here that's had years of like just a bunch of crazy bullshittery happening. And the employees are like, we're tired of it. We're gonna like squat up. And so I think it's definitely maybe the first of many, but then you never know. Capitalism's done a good job of squashing these things so far. Only so many things have unions right now, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. No, I think that's valid. I worry about any optimism about it being a potential good first step, especially with the momentum that they have right now. It's just a lack of optimism from the shit that they've seen in the past. Usually these things work out for the people on top, not for the people
I guess
on the bottom end.
One thing that I really thought about whenever I was looking at this story too was like unions work usually whenever the people that they're kind of for is like a limited pool. You know what I mean? Like and I feel like for the gaming industry, that may be a thing because like how many engineers are there like that can build games that are good? You know, like that's kind of like. It's one of those where like I don't feel like we got scabs that can just like come in and code games. Like that's just so I feel like if there's any industry that's poised and could do it, it would be the gaming industries for at least for the engineering side, you know.
That's true. There's like a huge demand for developers and coding, like just in the coding realm in general. So especially, I think this, like for a AAA title or AAA gaming publisher like Activision Blizzard, I think for them to sort of replace that talent easily is kind of like ridiculous if they think that's what's going to happen here. And it's not like any of these guys can go. I'm pretty sure they're very talented like talents within the industry, right? Like I'm sure there's plenty of other companies that would love to have them. I think it's more so, hopefully, it sounds like it's more so they're trying to make a statement and set a precedent.
Yeah. I would love to see more digital industries in general be unionized. I feel like that's something that's sorely missing, and I like where the momentum is going with unions right now. Hopefully it does end up helping a lot of some of the issues that we've been seeing in the gaming industry. I mean, I hope, fingers crossed.
But are we going to see anime fans unionizing over the fact that Netflix canceled Cowboy Bebop? Did either of you check it out? I never got to actually watch it, which is sad, which it goes to show why it got canceled. Like when people like me aren't like, oh fuck yeah, let's watch it tonight, like it's it may not be doing well.
Okay, so I feel like I have experience that a lot of people had. I saw this clip on Twitter that showed one of the characters, and I'm to be fair, I've told you guys before, I'm not too familiar with Cowboy Bebop in general. I've watched a couple of episodes and I absolutely love what I've seen. Absolutely love what I've seen. And it's one of those series that's kind of like, why, especially with the things that I love, why haven't I seen it? But one of the scenes that was tweeted out on Twitter, it was so cringy. It was so cheesy, and it looked really, really bad for the series. And I had lost all interest in checking it out after seeing that one scene.
I hope whenever
that could have been pre-filmed shot. That could have been something that they went and they took over or anything else like that. But the Twitter clip got to me first, and that lost all prioritization over anything else that was coming out. So new Hawkeye episode or that new Hawkeye won out every single time.
It was. I think I know what scene you're talking. There was a lot that went all over TikTok and everything as well. Yeah. It's just super cringy, like overly. Like I get that it's supposed to be a real life anime adaptation, but like you don't have to like do the whole like hello and welcome, like with the fucking hand shit and like constantly like talking with like it was bad. It's bad. It's fucking like it's hard to watch. I don't know what they were even trying to do here. Like, so
I think we need to give up on live action animes. It just doesn't seem to be working. I
don't think there's not been one that's hit home.
That's the thing.
Not just hit home. They haven't even hit the ball. Like they striking out. Like
bro, they're not even playing in the ballpark. Like some of these like Death Note, we're all playing baseball, and Death Note's like over here like with a hockey stick. Like what y'all doing? Y'all playing?
Yeah.
What y'all doing?
Yeah.
And so like, dude, some of these have been super fucking bad. And I'm not saying Cowboy Bebop was. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not gonna openly shit on it. I know a lot of fans haven't liked it, and so I mean, and now I have no reason to watch it, if I'm being honest. Like, now that it's being canceled, that really hurts it, because like, why watch it?
For me, if I am interested in seeing what the series was like, and knowing that it's only one season makes it a lot less intimidating.
I guess that's true. But then what if you like it? Like that's what's really fucked up. What if it ends on that cliffhanger?
I have a thing where I'm okay with one season animes that I can just have off. But then you are left disappointed. Like Dead Man Wonderland was a great example of this. Great one season anime that got canceled. Fantastic. We'll absolutely have you wanting for more. I think The Devil's a Part-Timer also falls into that category as well.
Nelly, I watched Firefly as an adult, so I'm built for this pain. Yeah, Firefly's definitely in that vein, but at least you got Serenity, so you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, for sure. But are either of you excited for this Captain Carter series? Is this something that we need? Are we going to start going through and getting What If episodes turned into TV series now, guys? What do you think?
I think interesting. I think it's probably one of the better ones. Definitely that I could build a show around. You know, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. You know, I liked Agent Carter when it was on TV. I thought that was pretty decent. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I think stands the reason why Captain Carter, British version, Peggy Carter.
I just don't want this to become a precedent where they're gonna do like what if episodes and then they're gonna be like, oh, you guys like that? Okay, great, we're gonna throw money into it, and so then they just use what if as a place to like kind of, you know, throw free pilots at us and see what.
So that's, you know, some of the game theorists and movie theorists and show theorists out there, some of them have even said they think that you know, we could see that darkest timeline Doctor Strange reappear in the MCU again later, and we already know he's coming back for What If season 2. You know, spoiler alert there if you haven't finished What If season 1. But that's pretty much, you know, confirmed that whole timeline's going to continue. And so I don't know, it's an interesting move. I think obviously Captain Carter, that episode was one of the good ones. And the character was cool. You know, I did like Captain Carter overall, and so we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, I think Marvel and Disney is going to take advantage of any opportunity they have to kind of rock with some of these, you know, whatever hits, they're like, hey, look, we can make a spinoff of that.
Yeah, no, as Little Snelly put in the chat, there's a theory going on that he is behind the setup for Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah.
There's a theory going on there, so he could already be in the MCU. So I don't know. It could already be in play, but I don't know. Captain Carter was one of them that I thought was a good one, but I said it before here on Geek Life that it just kind of didn't age too well with me. Like I thought about it more afterwards. Like, hey, you know, Captain America didn't need Iron Man to come help him kick ass, and you know, why is Peggy Carter showing her face the entire time? You know, like that wasn't the thing with Captain America. Like, and he just kind of saw these little elements of it, and it just looked more like posturing for a female superhero than it did. You know, like it just looks more like posturing than it does actually trying to empathetically ask the question, "What if?" and change the narrative.
And she's British. She's got to have the curls, man. Come on, like, you know, like,
I guess so.
You know,
you can still have the top open and still give her a face mask at least to protect her. What she got? Just cheekbones of steel? Is that what it is? I mean,
you know, Chris Evans dropped the mask a couple episodes or a couple movies in, right? You know, well, maybe just the Avengers.
Yeah, but not in the middle of the battlefield of World War II.
I think it'll be interesting, you know, like especially if it's animated and everything. I think Marvel, obviously, they're not just like shooting at the hip. All this stuff's going to be connected in some way, and so it'll be interesting to see how they like bring it back around. I wouldn't doubt if the Captain Carter series was kind of like something that went back even into season 2 of What If. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't like all kind of like come around full circle or some shit.
Yeah.
Daddy Disney.
Jay, it would be interesting. Jake, you played the Matrix Unreal 5 demo. How was it? What the fuck was it?
I know Nelly. Whenever she said
in chat, and I was like, "What is this?" And then you're like, "Oh, just watch it." I was like, "I did watch that, and I'm still just as fucking confused. Is this a movie? Is it a trailer that they just made an Unreal 5?
It's a playable, fourth wall breaking like trailer demo kind of a thing. So like it's kind of a like you get a little bit of the trailer for the Matrix Resurrections, and you get this whole thing where even Keanu comes out and is like, we don't even know what's real anymore. You know, sometimes these games, and he even drops it like I think Trinity or the chick that plays Trinity, she even at one point drops like a very like kind of cheesy line of like, as a matter of fact, everything is a bit unreal. And it's like, oh, fuck you, you know, like it's but what's really, really fucking crazy, and I will say this, you know, like this is I'm not trying to flex or anything, humble brag. I have a lot of like I got a nice TV, I got the PS5, everything's looking really crisp on that motherfucker. And it was hard at times to tell what part was a game and what part was cinematic. That Unreal 5 engine, and not even they did a really good job even making it so real that it skips over that uncanny valley feeling that you got from like Mass Effect and things like that. Like it just looked like CGI. Like it just looks like CGI. So like the young Keanu part, whenever they remake him in the Unreal 5 like thing, and he kind of like wakes up and everything, you're like, holy shit! Like that looked like how Luke Skywalker, like young Luke, looked in Mando. You know what I mean? Like where you can tell it's like a CGI person, but like you're like, god damn, that's still pretty fucking. That's still pretty good. And so like it's really interesting that video games have gotten to the level where now it's basically you're playing CGI shit, you know? It's not like no longer like looks like video game. Like there's some shooting parts on the road in that game because it automatically goes from like a car chase because they make a joke about how because Keanu gives this long philosophical rant about like what is real and like everything, and then she's like, but we've got to get to this car chase because they said you could give your rant as long as we had some action. And like then it goes right into like a shootout on the highway. And but not overall. It's just a playable demo of the Unreal 5 engine, and it has another part where you can kind of explore this city that they built. You can see some of the back like AI and code and stuff, and like it lets you break it down into like just how the code's operating in real time. It's pretty crazy, but it's actually really interesting. And I think if you got a PS5, if you had the new Xbox, download it, check it out. It's super quick. It's only like a 10-minute experience, if that, you know, like overall. Yeah. But it's super fucking cool.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure, but I guess I wonder what the purpose of that was. Like,
oh my gosh, thank you, Grand Titiana, coming in with a party of 17. Hi, welcome people. Welcome to Geek Life.
First comment, anal.
First comment is
right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. We were talking about the headlines this past week, including all these wonderful things you see here on screen: the Activision Blizzard protest, Cowboy Bebop being canceled, the Matrix Unreal Engine demo that Jake just talked about here. If you're interested in that, definitely rewind the stream just a little bit. But who's excited about seeing Charlie Cox confirmed as Daredevil for the MCU?
Yeah.
As Cape said, sure. I love Cox.
Yes,
love Cox.
Yeah, super excited about the Cox being on, coming back.
Cox confirmed.
A lot of Cox.
A lot of it. Like this was probably, I don't know if you guys seen it, but Daredevil to me was one of the best shows on Netflix at that time for sure, right? Like, and there wasn't that many shows on Netflix too. It wasn't before they opened the floodgates. I think you had like 5 Netflix shows, but still, it was like a phenomenal fucking show. And I was very sad that it was gone, but now I'm happy it's coming back.
This is so big because it means that Kingpin could come back as well, and that was oh my gosh, we've never seen a Kingpin that good.
He was
having Charlie Cox in there opens up a lot of new doors. Now, my question to you guys again is, do you think that we are going to possibly see him in Spider-Man No Way Home? We know that there is a time where Spider-Man does visit a lawyer, and he's definitely rumored to have been filmed some scenes on set. Do you think that's the surprise cameo we get in No Way Home?
Ooh. That's what they've been saying, but I'm not sure. I think it's all like conjecture, right? Like a lot of the other ones, like Garfield and Toby.
Wait, Garfield's in No Way Home?
He's not confirmed yet.
Probably not. But
like the cat?
No.
Oh man.
Yes, Garfield the cat.
He hates Mondays. How did they get him on set?
He's gonna be voiced by Jack Black too. They had Chris Pratt originally, but they decided not to.
Oh man,
yeah. No, it's not.
He refused to do it unless he could do a very stereotypical Italian accent, and they told me not in 2021.
Like, we don't feel comfortable doing that.
There, get out of
here. Well,
but that's not all the news.
That's not all the news we have for this week. No, we have our top story for this week. Our top story this week is the metric shit ton of announcements that we got from the Game Awards. I'm going to try to go through this quickly, guys. We had the Final Fantasy VII remake coming to the PC. We had the new clip of Matrix Resurrections, which is twist after twist after twist. I'm sure that Jake got a lot of that. There's a new Sonic movie and video game trailer. And then I believe that Sonic is for like an open world. Sonic Frontiers, it sends the. It's basically like an open world Sonic game, or at least what looks like to be an open world Sonic game. I know that Supersonic in our chat was talking about that and was super duper interested in what the potential of that could be. We have a Halo trailer on Paramount Plus for the new TV series. I still haven't gotten a chance to check out that, but I definitely want to check that out. A free-to-play Ark Raiders is the first game from ex-Battlefield developers. Asia's FPS hit Crossfire X launches on Xbox in 2022. Rumble vs. Pro Wrestling Battle Royale comes to PlayStation and Xbox next year. Among Us is getting VR, which is something that people have like hacked together before, but now they're officially making one from those the developers.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, but is it a dead game? We don't know. Like there's something like it seems to be something that's kind of been dying off.
Yeah.
There's a new Star Trek game that was revealed by former Telltale Games talent. Star Trek's Resurgence is a new kind of third-person choice-driven adventure game.
It looks nice.
Yeah, and we got a new trailer for the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League by Rocksteady, the same people that developed the Batman Arkham developers. It looks very, very interesting. We saw a little bit of gameplay in there. Cuphead is getting DLC. Coming in summer of 2022. The DLC will bring new challenges and additional playable characters, so that's going to be great. Alan Wake 2 is revealed and will be Remedy's first survival horror game.
Yeah.
A new Wonder Woman game made by the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor Studios, Monolith, was announced at the Game Awards. Monolith Production will be developing a live-action adventure game about the DC heroine.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah,
that's going to be awesome. The Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was a fantastic game,
amazing, mint game,
and that pairing together is going to be magnifique.
Yeah.
Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream was revealed at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
It's basically a new Star Wars, the Old Republic, like the big MMO kind of thing. It seems to be like a pretty much a revamp of that, or at least the concept of that, built from like kind of a strategic,
that was the most cinematic Star Wars trailer I've ever seen. Like
that was gorgeous.
Oh, I was so confused.
Gorgeous.
It was art. It was like.
That's a game where you're gonna have the choice to become basically anything you want in the Star Wars universe. I'm gonna lose some life to that for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg's over here like, metaverse, and I'm just like, shut up. I'm already living in it. I'm Star Wars. Yeah. I'm a Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right there. But that's not all. Hellblade 2 gets a meaty reveal as well at the Game Awards. Extended trailer shows gameplay in Ninja's Theory's Norse adventure. That was a really badass trailer. And then The Expanse, another Telltale series, is in development. Guys, which of these announcements are you most excited for? Jake, we'll start with you.
For me, it's close between either Star Wars Eclipse. I mean, I also like the Wonder Woman game, and if that's just if I'm talking about games, you know what I mean? Like, because there was a lot of stuff even outside of the game realm that was announced here. I mean, the Halo series coming to Paramount, that trailer actually looked good. So like, cautious optimism on that coming up. And I mean, the Sonic movie trailer, I'm not gonna lie, after they redesigned Sonic, I enjoyed that first movie, so I'm gonna see this second one. I loved Knuckles. He was one of my favorite Sonic characters, along with everyone else in the entire world, right? And so like seeing him on the big screen with Idris Elba, as the voice, I'm really excited to kind of just see what happens here and see what we get out of that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, overall, I think the late one too, because it came late, was this fucking Wonder Woman from the Middle Earth. Like you said, Shadow of War, that Middle Earth game, one of my like top 10 games of all time. Like, it's so good. Really good. The mechanics are fucking awesome. The system, yeah, exactly. Everything about that game is so much fun. And so now that I'm getting a Wonder Woman one, like, and Wonder Woman's already a badass character. Honestly, she has been carrying the DC cinematic universe. Her movies have been better than everyone else's, except for the last one. 1984 was pretty bad. But but the first Wonder Woman movie was probably one of the best DC movies we've gotten so far, except for this latest Suicide Squad. But anyway, now I'm digressing a lot. Long story short, Wonder Woman. I'm excited for it. That shit looks awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Kev? What are you excited for?
I gotta go. It's between Alan Wake 2, because I love Remedy games and I love the first Alan Wake. It's fucking amazing. And Star Wars Eclipse. I mean, how can you not be excited for that shit? Like, blown away. That, I mean, when they say video game is art, you study in school, you're getting a BFA. That's the art right there. Like that shit. Yeah. It's fucking gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully you don't get cyberpunked again.
The Star Wars Eclipse has to be the one that takes it for me.
I don't know if Daddy 100%. Disney will let it get cyberpunked. You know, I think.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? That is still always something that could be a possibility. But the Star Wars Eclipse, just the idea of it is, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. And
I need to look more into it because I only watched the trailer.
I'm tied right between you guys too because I played Middle Earth: Shadow of War as well, and just the way that game plays, like I feel that game was the last game I played before streaming. Okay, because I think after playing that, I was like, I want to have this experience that I could share with other people because that was so much fun, and I'm having so much fun enjoying and playing this that I wanted other people to be a part of it. And I mean, I don't know what that says about the game itself, but it was I know that it was a fantastic game that I absolutely enjoyed, and I wanted to do more with it. So having Wonder Woman behind there, if they can make a nemesis system for Wonder Woman's villains, where Wonder Woman's villains are actually going to remember me and who I am based on how I killed them or how I took them down last, that could be really fucking badass, and that could be a really unique superhero game. So what was the best trailer that you guys saw?
I mean, that Star Wars one.
Like, if we're not going chalk, I'm gonna go outside the box. I'm gonna say that Crossfire X game, just because it looked really cool. I didn't know what the fuck it was. No, you know what? Scratch that. I'm sorry. Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse looked fun, but then also the new Matrix Resurrections trailer pretty much confirmed the return of Agent Smith in like a new way, because like the whole thing is resurrections, and so we've gotten the new Morpheus, we've gotten like Neo, we've gotten Trinity, and the whole time everybody was like, who's like this Neil Patrick Harris, like who's this character? And it was pretty much all confirmed in the last trailer. That's Agent Smith again. And so like this whole rebirth resurrections kind of theme that's coming with this movie, I'm really fucking with it. And so that Matrix trailer is probably my favorite, if not for the Star Wars trailer, because that thing was pure art, as Kevin was saying earlier.
Now go ahead.
I was gonna say Rumbleverse is it's a battle royale where you can run them hands. Like
it looks like a lot of fun.
Now, Jake, what's interesting is that It Takes Two won Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree with that?
I wasn't on last week, but Kev, you guys talked about the Game Awards. What did you guys say whenever It Takes Two was one of the nominees?
That was actually my second pick where I thought would win it. My first, I thought Deathloop was gonna win all the shit. Not because I played either of them, just from what I had like been looking and like seeing. Because everything from what I've heard was that all signs were pointing to Deathloop was a phenomenal game. Which I mean, it was nominated, but I think at the end of the day, I think what happened was It Takes Two was kind of a breath of fresh air, right? Where everything was kind of localized to online. This was literally like 2-player co-op, and this can be online too. But I mean, the guy who's like basically spearheaded this was like, I don't know if you had, I forget what the first game was, but it was basically like a prison break game, and it was a local co-op, and that was like his whole thing. So he kind of just, I guess, rehashed it, opened it, brought in the sort of capabilities of it, made a cutesy sort of artistic indie style game, and It Takes Two, and I mean, it killed.
Well, I just wanted to say what you guys said last week, but I've played it, and I think it's well deserved. It was one of the most unique gaming experiences I had all of last year. And especially during the pandemic, it was nice to kind of like play a game with my partner and us just kind of like sit and enjoy it and like play it through, and the story was compelling. I mean, you laughed, you cried. It's a shitload of fun. It's a super fun game. It's heartwarming. And it was made by a small studio, and so it kind of like it checked all those boxes of like, it wasn't some kind of big AAA cash grab. It felt wholesome. It felt real, and And while it's not like the most beautiful game, it's definitely like still a very well designed, developed, and like, you know.
I would disagree with it being. I think one of its strong suits is
it's nice. Its animation's really pretty, but like, you know, obviously sometimes like to me things are a little choppy. But I'm the like guy that just got done playing the Unreal 5 engine, so. But like
Jake's already in 2030.
Yeah, sorry, I can't revert back now. If anything looks like, if it doesn't look like this,
if you can't see the individual hairs.
But no, in all reality though, it was one of the best games I played last year. Now there's a couple that I think personally I would say, you know, is kind of like right there on the cusp. Like obviously I've been talking about Far Cry. I played it. It's been a very good game. But I've played Far Cry before. Like I've had that experience. There was nothing new in Far Cry 6 that I haven't really felt in past ones. And so with this though, just the how they handle the co-op and how you and your partner kind of play off of each other, you know, and just the story itself is so touching that yeah, I gotta agree. It was my game of the year, and so
that's crazy. I think there's so many games that could be better games of the year. I mean, some of the games that you named right there, even, you know, with Far Cry being one of them. I've heard a lot of amazing things about Guardians of the Galaxy, and I mean, like, I feel like there's other games that were more sensational, personally. I mean, you know, like, I mean, Pokemon Unite, the how Pokemon Unite has now become within 1 year a game that people are competing for literally millions of dollars for, sanctioned by the Pokemon Company, which we know and we talked about before. That Pokemon
quality wise though, you can't even compare them.
I know
Pokemon Unite's not gonna give you the feeling.
No. I'm talking about just strictly sensationally and having games that people played till like 4 a.m. this year. The game I know that people were obsessively doing that with was Unite. Now, does that compare to the same kind of experience as Far Cry?
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Does it have the same, you know, kind of effect as Far Cry 6 or something like that? I think that's hard to say, but I think that as far as like the sensationality, you know, It Takes Two was a very beautiful game, but like, you know, Grounded's a very beautiful game too, and there's a lot of the same things there.
I think multiplayer games are never going to really get that game of the year, just for the simple fact that I think
they lack that kind of depth.
They don't have depth. That's why you keep playing them over and over and over again. And it's kind of ironic. You think that, like, well, if the game had depth, why wouldn't I play it over and over and over again? It's kind of like the argument we had last year. It's like, well, no, if the game has depth, you get satisfied after playing it one time. And I think that's why. I think like that's like you look at the games that made it. They're all single player campaigns.
Yeah.
I highly suggest it, especially if you're in a couple. There's going to be one part in this game where you're going to look at your friend, your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, fiance, whoever it may be, husband, whatever, you know, you're going to look at them and you're going to go, are we doing this? Are we really doing this right now? And then they're going to go, you have to do it. We have to finish. And then like, and it's just going to be, and then after you finish the act and you're both going to be sitting there, you're going to feel empty. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? I can't believe that happened. And it's almost as if you both just joined in a murder, but then you're gonna move on, and there's gonna be another roller coaster of emotions. You're gonna fly an airplane made out of boxers and shoot at squirrels that are pretending to be commandos, and it's a fucking crazy game, and it's a lot of fun, and it really pushes the meaning of co-op like to a whole different thing. So I get why I won it. That's all. Like, but I definitely highly suggested.
Makes sense. Now, guys, I do have to ask. You know,
trauma bonding.
With a lot of the stuff that we've talked about, especially with E3 earlier this year, right? And we even did an E3 centered episode.
Yeah.
I want to make the argument that the Game Awards are actually more important than E3. And especially like are more now what we used to celebrate E3 than E3 is now. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I'd agree just because there's stakes. You know, the only stakes I think to E3 is it's like you have to it's you want to make a splash, and then you know sometimes that splash it doesn't carry really any momentum. I think it's just it's like E3 is more of a celebration of video games than anything, and I think VJ is the literal celebration of video games.
Yeah.
With you know,
I can see that.
But I still think E3 matters just from a cultural standpoint, but I think it's very close. I'd give the nod to E3 just a little bit, just because there's so much more money that goes into like these companies and what they put into E3, and just kind of like the ramifications it has. Like, there's no showcases at Video Game Awards, and I think that's why it still lags behind E3.
Fair point. Jake, what about you? E3 or Game Awards?
I mean, I'm with you, Kev. I kind of gotta give the edge to E3, just because it's, just because the cultural relevance. And I'm not like, it's one of those where like, what's bigger? Is it like, is it an award show about this, or is it the actual like announcements for it? Right? Like,
it's different than like the Oscars are still do that because they don't have trailers for new movies at the Oscars.
Yeah,
right?
No, I get that. Like E3 is like where we got like the like new Xbox announcements or new like say like if Nintendo's got a new console, they're gonna drop it on us there. It's almost like a what's the word? It's almost like a South by Southwest kind of a thing. It's much bigger to me than just an award show.
It's a whole week.
Yeah. And so like I think like the edge goes to E3. I like the stakes of the Game Awards, and I think that the Game Awards getting bigger is important because like as gaming gets bigger, we're gonna need our like Oscars. We're gonna need our kind of like whatever so that everybody can have a circle jerk and talk about how great they were. But like E3 is still like I said, I think it still takes the edge just because of what it is and all we get out of it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's still important.
Yeah,
still important. Anyways, that will do it for this week's headlines and the news in general this week. But we've got a mod segment for you guys. We're going back to the water cooler to talk about Marvel's newest show on Disney Plus. So, Caperdoodle, do the dandy. And across his MCU career, Hawkeye has never had the chance to be truly vulnerable. Living alongside bigger personalities, even in his most impactful moments in the Avengers Endgame, provided very little space for Jeremy Renner to explore Clint Barton on a deeper level. This solo series has, of course, been the opportunity to course correct on that front, but it is this week's episode that really digs deeper into what it means to be Hawkeye. While it's not quite as exciting as the predecessor in terms of archery heroics, episode 4 builds on the emotional heart of the Hawkeye series and further bolsters its central dynamic in the process. A substantial part of the last episode is spent on Clint and Kate just hanging out. In terms of a lot of forward plot momentum, it means Hawkeye's foot is off the gas a little this week, but this breather also allows Clint to open up more than he's ever done before, describing himself as a weapon, and a nod to the fraction of Age of Comics run, the fraction/Age of Comics run, My Life as a Weapon. And someone who hurts people casts an unexpectedly dark shadow over our hero and gives the impression of a man trapped by his own purpose. Guys, what are your thoughts on the show so far? Jake, let's start with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I literally just binged all of Hawkeye because I didn't start it, and so I watched all 4 episodes in the past 2 days, and so I'm pretty current, on it. And so far, I'm honestly impressed. I had made the joke that I really didn't care much for Hawkeye. He's my least favorite Avenger, and so that's why I wasn't that excited to watch this one. But now I'm kind of drawn in, and I like the character of Kate Bishop and how they've kind of like handled her. I think my only big kind of like joke right now, running joke, is like what like man in his like 40s or whatever is actually going to let his wife is going to let him just skip Christmas with the kids to hang out with some 23-year-old. Like she keeps mentioning that. And it doesn't matter how many times you call her 9, Clint. She's like a 23-year-old young woman, and you're like just chilling and eating pizza with her while your wife's with the kids. Like, grow up, Clint. But overall, like I've enjoyed the show. I thought it's really good so far. I've been pleasantly surprised, to say the least.
No, I mean, I've loved it. I've loved, especially the music, how they go with it, and bringing in the Christmas carols and stuff like that. Especially some of the kind of like, it's not necessarily Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but definitely Trans-Siberian Orchestra-esque vibes in some of these chase scenes with the Christmas carols going on in the background. Definitely dig that. And just the series in of itself, I think, is a very practical approach to the superhero series that they've done in the past. A lot of Falcon Winter Soldier kind of vibes in a lot of different ways. Kev, what do you think? What do you think about the series so far?
I think it's great. I'm like Jake. I had to kind of force myself into it, and I honestly watched it just because I knew we were going to talk about it on this show. But I've surprisingly enjoyed it. And again, it's Hawkeye's one of my least favorite Avengers. Sometimes I forget he's on the Avengers. That's not to say he's a bad character. I mean, fuck, man, it's hard to compete with Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor.
Yeah.
I'm just a man with a bow and arrow, right? I mean, he's not Oliver Queen, but still.
Right.
Yeah. So
it was really confusing how they made Oliver Queen a girl this time around. I thought that was really inclusive. And they're calling her Kate. I thought that was really weird. Like they could have just called her
You got a great point. I mean, she's very much an Oliver Queen,
wealthy, like self-trained.
I think that's why I was also confused. I was like, I've seen this story before. I was like,
if Kate got all of her skills on an island, we would be like,
yeah. No,
5 years
ago. What did you guys think about this past episode? Kev, we'll start with you this time.
I liked it. I think it was. I liked the action stuff and everything's always cool for me. But I think I've seen so many cool action shit in movies. I'm just kind of jaded at this point. So now I need reason to care. Maybe that's called growth and maturity. I don't know. But no, I think it's just. I think that was my favorite episode so far, which kind of makes sense because the first, as the case with most of these shows, it takes a while for the momentum to build up, right? Like WandaVision wasn't good until like 4 episodes in. God, those first 2 episodes.
So I like those first 2 episodes. I like them, and I've been able to quote a lot of them now at this point. I went through and I started rewatching some of WandaVision again, and it's still pretty good. It's great on a rewatch because you're like you catch more stuff and
it's one of those shows most definitely that if you go back and watch it, you're like, oh shit, there's a little thing. WandaVision got me pretty early, but so did Hawkeye. Like I'm not gonna lie, like honestly, and this is going to be a little bit of blasphemous to Dodd, but I think I'm more interested in what's going to happen next in Hawkeye than I was in Captain America and the Winter Soldier or whatever show, that buddy cop series that was.
Yeah.
And so, like...
Chips.
Yeah, Chips. Marvel's Chips. But no, like I really like I like Jeremy Renner though. The guy who plays Hawkeye, that he's top notch, and so I'm really glad he's kind of getting to kind of flex a little more because he's one of those that in the film, obviously, kind of like how you said earlier, he's been overshadowed, right? Like when you're on the scene or when you're on the screen with all these other guys, it's kind of hard for Hawkeye to stand out. And it's kind of hard for Jeremy to even stand out as an actor, right? And so it's nice that he's kind of getting his own time to shine here. And so I think he's done a really good job. The good moments have felt good and the bad moments felt bad, and so I'm excited to see what's happening next. Are they dropping 2 episodes a week? Is that what's happening?
No. It's one.
Okay, I was just that far behind. Okay,
they dropped 2 on Thanksgiving week, and then they've dropped 1 ever since.
Okay, so I was really only 3 weeks behind.
You're only 3 weeks behind, but 4 episodes totally over there. Oh my God, MCU Krillin. Oh no. Anyways, I think that Hawkeye's character is really relatable in a lot of ways. Maybe it's because he's he doesn't have superpowers or anything else like that. But he's also the family guy, and he's also trying to balance that out there with it. I love how they've not only kind of explored that element more, they've explored more of his hearing loss. I like how they brought that in. It was very, very one-liner kind of can't really tell where it came from, but it was something that's now a developing problem. This is a callback to Hawkeye actually being deaf in the comics, and that is a canonical thing. But of course, they kind of just adapted for this. Echo as the villain, I think they're setting up an amazing villain. I think that I'm genuinely interested in Echo, and I've never heard of her prior to this. So I think that, and mostly because she's, this is a unique story in where Hawkeye is training Kate, and the villain is honestly the anti-Kate, right? In a lot of different ways. Like she's just opposite of Kate in a lot of different, in multiple ways. And I think that that's a really interesting concept to see, him go out there, especially with how last week's episode ended with him kind of severing things, right? Because it's not about the wax on, wax off kind of situation. It's like, no, they sent a fucking Black Widow assassin after me. Like, no, I'm fucking, we're not doing this anymore,
I guess that's kind of a good question, and like just one that I'm wondering, even going into this. You mentioned Echo, but I haven't. What did they mention that in the show? Is that who we believe the big bad is? Who's the bad guy?
That's the Maya. Maya. That's her character's name or code name. I don't know if they've said Echo quite in there yet.
That was the Black Widow, the assassin, right?
No, the Black Widow assassin is the one at the very end, which is Natasha's sister.
Oh, Maya. Echo is the
Echo is the deaf one.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Who's she's not the bad guy though. The bad guy is the stepdad, or whatever. That guy's definitely the bad guy. Like, and who the fuck is that guy supposed to be?
So he's supposed to play a character called Swordsman.
Which he's the bad guy. Are we all in agreement? That's the bad guy.
He's the real big bad. He's the real big bad.
Yeah, that's the bad guy. Yeah,
the big bad for sure.
Pretty obvious.
Maya's obviously an antagonist for sure.
Yeah,
So
I think like somebody said, Echo ends up usually being is an anti-hero in a way, and so I think that's probably what we're going to end up seeing here. Like, not to spoil it, it's just one of those things where like if I had to guess, it's like they're going to battle it out, then she's going to be like, wait, we need to team up for this bigger evil. You know what I mean? And that's going to be like Mr. Swordsman James with his fucking swords and shit. He's got swords everywhere. They've really been setting that up.
What do you guys think about Yelena coming in here, the Black Widow sister? What do you guys think about this inclusion?
I actually liked her character in the movie, so I'm glad they kind of kept it alive, kept her around.
Yeah. I don't know necessarily what she's gonna do. I think to me it seems too simplistic for her to kind of blame Clint for her sister's death, but that is exactly what we see at the end of Black Widow. Right, we saw Madam Hydra coming up to her and be like, "You want to take care of the people responsible," and this is the next place we find her. So, do you guys think that's how these dots connect, or do you think there's a bigger story here?
I don't know. I'm honestly like, I don't know enough about Hawkeye, and I have no idea what the MCU is gonna do right now. That like I'm like, because I mean now even Nelly just saying it kind of like maybe he's just a red herring. I'm thinking like they've made it like almost too obvious that he's the villain, right? Like so then it can't be. And so then I got to thinking, okay, it's Disney. What does Disney do, right? Yeah. The biggest thing they've done lately, and the thing it's just Disney's formula, right? You make the person that's like the friend end up being the bad guy. Kate Bishop's the bad guy, confirmed. It's gonna happen. Kate's flipping. Marvel's gonna go crazy on this one. It turns out Kate's Mephisto confirmed. Whole time.
Kate's Mephisto confirmed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What about you, Kev? Where do you think it's gonna go from here?
I think it's gonna.
Mom's the bad guy.
I think it's gonna be the stepdad. I think this is all. It's all pointing towards that direction. Which I would like the plot twist. I think Jake's version's probably. We can get that what if version for sure. I'd watch that.
Turns out, this is the bad Hawkeye. And then, like Jeremy Renner, and at the end of it, he puts it back on, and he's like, "Hawkeye, I'm Ronin." Yeah, and then like shoot somebody in the fucking chest.
There you go. Yeah, that would work. And then you just see the Watcher and be like, "Yeah, what if? That's crazy. Yeah. That's in real Earth.
What if Hawkeye lost his shit and became Ronin again?"
Yeah. Do you guys think the show has helped flesh Clint's character out more? Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's let Jeremy Renner kind of like stretch his like wings a little bit. So in that case, I think it has also fleshed out Clint a little bit more too, right? We've seen a lot of like, I think a little bit more, kind of emotional chops from him, a little bit more of that background. I mean, I'm going to keep bringing it up though. He's suspiciously close to a lot of women and a lot of younger, attractive women. He's suspiciously close to them. I'm just saying, like, he's got a wife and children.
Be a good guy, Jake, okay? Not every man is in every
I'm not saying he's got to be, I'm not saying he's got, who was the vice president there? I'm not saying he's got to pinch it, you know what I mean? Like, you can meet with him, right? But like,
he's surrounded by a lot of attractive women.
I'm just saying, he brings a lot of young ladies under his wings. You know, it's like,
yeah. But you know what? Maybe that's just.
I think he can handle himself. I hope he can handle himself.
I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously, like,
you know,
obviously, like I think that's been one of the cool things is that they have kind of like went into just how, how much he is broken up over Natasha and everything, and and I did think that was kind of like a big hitter quote from the mom, and not to be a huge spoiler, but in that last episode, whenever she was just like, Kate isn't Natasha, she's not a superhero. Natasha was a superhero, and she still died. So my daughter, who's not a superhero, definitely doesn't need to be out here doing some crazy shit. Like what are you doing? And so like I did think that was a pretty like interesting like real part. You know what I mean? 'Cause that is like that's something I would say the exact same thing. Like like your friend who you're still like all beat up about, she died and she was a superhero. You're going out gallivanting with my daughter, and she's not a superhero, and she's 22, and you have a wife.
Anyway. I think that's completely valid. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, we'll have to see where it goes. I'm definitely going to be following it. It definitely gives you something to watch till Christmas, and that's what we need right now, right? We need something to pass the time till we're opening presents underneath the tree.
Yep.
2022, the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that will wrap it up for this first half of our show, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we got a deep dive into 2021 for our 2021 year in review. We're getting wrapped with 2021. So then we will wrap things up again with our top Zen, our top 12 non-Christmas movies, because we couldn't just give you a top Zen. We had to give you extra because it's Christmas, Got to give in the spirit of giving, right? So stick around. We've got more show for you coming to you in 5. We will be right back. Peace. Before we do,